All right, so Alien.
Alien.
The infamous I Can Talk movie. Is it infamous, or am I giving it the
it feels pretty
incorrect
infamous.
adjective?
There's some infamous moments.
1979. Wow. It's 10 years older than I am, which tells you my age. I'm a millennial. My name is Zack. This is Jake. We probably already went over this in the intro, but I'm being awkward now. So moving on. Rotten Tomatoes score. Rotten Tomatoes here. The critics rate it at a 98%. 98. 94% from the audience. So it's an A movie.
Yeah.
It's coming in fresh.
It's
according
a
to that. Yeah. Side note, I went and made like 100 dummy accounts, and that's how I tipped the scales higher. No, I'm just kidding. It's a good movie. It's one of my favorites. Next to having I would say soft spot, but a special place in my heart, like Jurassic Park. That's another one like that. But yeah, sorry, Alien. What are your thoughts? You said I think you said, I know, because I know. Hold on, because you made it sound like you had more to say about Predator, and I felt like I'd have more to say about Alien, but I'm curious kind of why. So why? What do you think about it?
So between Predator and Alien, Alien is pretty slow.
True.
Where it felt like Predator is an action horror movie, this feels like it's a horror sci-fi maybe kind of movie.
Yeah.
So like there's like a 7-minute shot of them landing this fucking ship, and it's like, I get that you're building tension and whatever, but like, and maybe it's the time, maybe like 1979, we're gonna show you that we're landing this fucking ship. But my millennial 2021 brain was like, all right, you fucking landed. I get it. I've seen a ship land before.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think you're right about it being dated like that. We kind of saw the same stuff with Texas Chainsaw.
Right.
Because that was also 70s, and it's just a different time. There was even a couple of overdrawn out cross dissolves.
Yeah.
That I could have done without.
Yeah.
But I get it's kind of emphasizing. It's kind of like when they do the same explosion like 5-10 times, right, like Michael Bay or someone.
No, it felt like there was a purpose behind it. It felt like they were doing it to draw out the tension and to, give you that, to let you sit with it, which I appreciate and like, but just I'm so used to fast paced kind of things that it gets to be like I could have fast forwarded through 15 minutes of this and not missed a single thing. True.
There's that. And it's almost a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
And Aliens, the sequel, was always more my favorite. It's more action packed.
Right.
And more people die, and there's more explosions and stuff. So.
But as a classic and as the one that kind of set it all off, like I still like it. It's good.
I think it's a good film.
Yeah.
It's a little slower paced, but it comes off more like an actual film to me, even though it is, like you already said, horror with some sci-fi elements in there. Yeah, it's my favorite. All right, that's it. I think we're done on that episode. One. And I have some more stuff to say. So my biggest thing on it, there was some foreshadowing, I felt like.
Okay.
That wasn't the thing I wanted to say, but I'm saying it now. There was foreshadowing with... It's pretty obvious, though. There's the stuff we don't know about. I think the original creators of the aliens later, and like Prometheus and Alien, they're called architects, I think. Mm-hmm. I think that's what they're called. It's the original, the big alien that they find when they land.
Right.
It already had its chest burst open. So it's kind of like, oh, what's that? Like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, see, okay.
It's kind of foreshadowing, right?
Was that what that was?
Or is that too explicit?
Here's my problem with Alien as a franchise. Mm-hmm. I never know what the fuck I'm looking at. Like, I saw that there was something in the middle of this ship that they go and inspect, and it's a different color than everything else, and I can kind of see that there's a bone structure or something. Mm-hmm. But honestly, a lot of me was like, what the fuck am I looking at? And I think, that could also be intended completely, because it's Alien. Like, both in name and title and creature. It's alien to me. But it just kind of, I just hate that. I want to be able to see. I'm looking at it. It didn't, and again, this is probably me having seen the movie before. In the 70s, it was probably a little more scary, but for me, it was just kind of like frustrating that I didn't know or couldn't see, or the answers weren't given to me, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's meant to be more ambiguous, let's say. I don't know if that's the right word, but yeah, not give you all the answers. And
right.
And I've had that same feeling too. And even later, watching the newer ones, I forgot that was even in this first movie. So I just always thought facehugger and that's it. And
right.
I was like, what do you mean? There's stuff that I overlooked that when I go back and I've watched it a few times, it has different meaning in different parts of it. So that's good. So there's foreshadowing. Mm-hmm. The main big thing that I realized watching it this time, besides Ash being an android and being robotic.
Right. I could tell that a lot more this time around.
Oh yeah.
Like I was kind of looking for it. He's completely emotionless through everything.
Even the way he's laying in the capsule.
Yeah.
It's a little bit too much, but his arms are straight down and just fingers pointed forward. I think only one of the other crews like that. One of them's like, I think arm up, one elbows bent,
sleeping like a comfortable human.
Yeah, and he just seemed like he was stiff as a board.
Right.
So it's great. 'Cause he didn't have to do that. He could have played a little bit because it probably wouldn't have mattered. But then looking at him, like, that's a nice touch knowing now. But yeah, totally throughout the whole thing. So there's a big theme of, tell me if I'm wrong, of man versus machine. Because you have Ash and Mother, and then you also have corporations, or the company itself, right? For Wayland Yutani. So I wrote that down as a thing of man versus machine because you have Ash trying to get this organism because of whatever programming and order he's under. Then you have Mother who was given different coordinates, and it's not out of being evil or anything, but it's just the machine running and doing its job or what it's told to do. It's
the information that was given to it by the corporation.
Yeah, by a corporation. So there's like kind of twofold machine and businesses, or I don't know if you can chalk that up to greed of a company or because they probably want it for weapons and stuff, right? Whatever research, especially if we're just looking at this movie in itself, they have some ulterior motive that the crew is expendable, and that's mentioned in there, right? From Mother as part of the order instruction, and it's just
they're in it to make money. They don't care who dies.
Yeah, because if 5 people die, but you either benefit more people or make millions off of it, it's worth it to them. And then no one has to know because you're in space. It's creepy. It's such a good premise. The whole premise is great. Yeah. And the way that it works out. And it is slow to start. Yeah.
I'm not trying to shit on the movie at all.
Go for it. Shit all over it.
But can I tell you one thing that really bothered me?
Sure. And I'll tell you why you're wrong.
When they cut the face hugger on the guy's face.
All right. I'm ready to tell you why you're wrong. Okay. Coming back in.
So okay, when they cut the thing, acid drips through various layers of the ship. Mm-hmm. How come every time they're going down a layer, they're looking for the acid? Like it'll be in a different place. Like they don't know where it's going to come out. Isn't it falling straight down?
Straight, probably.
It just bugged the hell out of me because they like go down a level and then they like spread out. And it's like, no, you know where it's coming from.
Right, but really maybe because they get down to the one, I don't know, the last one, they're not sure and it's barely coming through. I kind of actually thought about it for a second in the moment. And I was thinking maybe it's because it's really dark, because it looks really dark to me. And it's just hard to see.
It could be.
Because I don't know.
Make your ship brighter. Come on.
Yeah, totally. Okay, I'll give you that one because it's a little weird. It's probably more for the suspense of the audience watching. Right. So I could see that. I gotcha. That wasn't that bad. That one, yeah.
Okay, another little gripe I had.
Okay.
Specifically with the close-up shots of the alien.
Mm-hmm.
I like the visuals. There are a lot of really great visuals in it, but it's another one of those things where I feel like the camera's too close, or it's just out of focus or distorted some way that I don't fully know what I'm looking at. And it bugs the hell out of me.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of the point. But I think that is a sign of the times.
Yeah.
And why I like the older movies, not just for the prosthetics.
I mean, I get what they're doing by not giving us everything and kind of keeping things hidden and having all that. But just as a viewer, like it has the opposite effect for me, because I want to... Yeah. Like, I'm itching to see that, but I don't get to see that. Or I get to see part of it, and it's like,
See, it makes you want more, though.
Yeah.
If it maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you really don't care, or it's too much, you get annoyed.
Right.
And they give you a little bit more at the end.
Yeah.
When it crawls out. So it's the slow reveal.
He crawls out and somehow
Predator, you don't see its true form either, but you see the shape of it and what it sees. And then it finally takes its helmet off. So
I mean, it's pretty crazy.
It's a little more blatant and out there.
Right.
But it's also camouflaged technically, so it's not out there. But you know it's there.
It's pretty crazy that this alien from galaxies away has these 4 appendages that all of us seem to have.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know there's that too. But then that goes into later lore where it takes on characteristics of the host that was implanted
they're just trying to fix their budgetary problems from the 70s.
Probably. And also with that, I can't remember if this was true, but I feel like there was a thing of the costume was itself a little clunky. Mm-hmm. And so that maybe have something to do with why they... Because it was a rubber suit that they made kind of like slimy or wet at least or something. And I think to maneuver it around like they'd want to, they had to do it that way. Right. So it's kind of just what they had to work with. I may be pulling that out right up my butt, but
no, I mean that makes sense. Like,
I think there was something like that.
Yeah,
there's some fun facts somewhere about the costume.
But I mean, with the limitations of the technology and the limitations of budget kind of thing, like I don't know. And I don't want to say they did it bad, because they didn't. I like the movie. It's a classic. Mm-hmm. But, like, the same thing with kind of Jaws. Like, we've got this fucking shark, but it keeps breaking down all the time. What can we do to, like, save ourselves? Oh, don't show it as much. Kind of keep it hidden. And, like, that didn't frustrate me as much, because they still have shots that are in focus and that are there. But
this one's darker setting, so it's gonna be kind of like that.
Yeah.
And then when it surprises on
the escape pod,
the captain.
Oh, the captain.
I think it's the captain, the lead guy.
Yeah. Of
the ship, and you're like and then his light's on there for a second. I don't know, those scares. I feel like were done so well.
Yeah.
I will say the other thing I had noted for when Brett gets killed, Brett, the guy who just says "right" a lot.
Right.
Right. The music was kind of building up when he went into that room, and then there's a cat and stuff.
Right.
But then it stops, and all you hear is like some dripping, and it stops,
love that.
And it's just you in the room with him until the alien drops down.
Right.
And it was also kind of slow, but it felt very tense for me, even also being a millennial in 2021.
Right.
It still hits pretty good for me. So.
Right.
The true test, not to interrupt you, I am interrupting you, is going to be when my son's older, like in 8 to 10 years, and I go, now you can watch this, because I probably watched it a little young, but you can watch this now, and I want to know what you think, because I'll be
when your son is 35 and he's ready for big boy movies.
Yeah, exactly. My wife thinks he can't get married till then, so that sounds about right for movies. You were going to say.
So I really liked that, the whole cut the music out tension kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But for me, like, there's a lot of hidden in the dark kind of things happening where, like, okay, this alien's clearly up in these chains, just kind of watching. We don't see it, but it's there kind of thing. But I want to see it. It's just, it's frustrating to me, because, like, and you can still make it creepy, like, have it move in a really fast way or something. I'm sure that would I'm sure a lot of people disagree with that, and a lot of people like it the way that it is, but I just kind of want to see it. Like, it can still be creepy if, like, it's shuffling through these chains and you get a glimpse of the tail swing down and kind of thing. Like, you can still build tension and suspense. And it was just kind of flat for me on this viewing. Yeah. Like, I still, like I said, I like it. It's a good movie. I especially like when Brett dies. But yeah, that's all. Go ahead. Good. Rip me a new one.
Rip me a new one. No, I'm trying to think of it as its own movie still. But it's almost like if I wanted to set this up and then have this movie and then use the sequel, Aliens, to show more aliens and a little bit more of them, that this would be a good teaser for that. But it's on its own, it does leave you kind of wanting more, which can be good, but it can also be dissatisfying for some. So I see it. I'm going to give you credit on that one, or a pass or something. Okay. Whatever.
Okay. I'll take a pass.
I don't know. I feel like I had more to say about this.
Same, but different.
Same, but different. I wrote, for Nostromo, the ship, so it wakens off course, which seems
big
odd.
Ass ship.
Yeah, big ass ship. I think there was a fact I did come across that said it's supposed to be 800 feet long. So that's almost, I think, 3 football fields, right?
Right.
Those are 300 feet about. So it's pretty big.
Yards.
Yeah, right, because it's 100 yards for a football field. Okay. I'm not a big sports ball person, but I hear good things about the pigskin. So.
Zach, you're on a podcast right now that mainly talks about sci-fi horror movies. Nobody thinks that you're a sports guy. Oh,
good point. So, what do you think about the computers being old? So I had a couple more notes. There's the technology being old, and they still smoke in the future apparently.
Right.
Because in 1979 they wouldn't
smoking indoors.
They know, but they don't.
I mean, it takes place in like 2121 or something. So it's like 100 years from where we are now, and all of the screens and monitors, and they don't have any like touch screen thing. Like, I get it, it's the limitation of the thing. It doesn't really bother me.
That and then implement it. Like, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't for me either. But I was just curious because I'm watching it, going, this looks outdated, but I can kind of buy it.
Yeah.
Still, which I don't know why I can still buy it.
I feel like I can because, like, it feels like if we were just starting this interstellar travel kind of thing, the technology wouldn't be like.
It could be clunky like that.
Yeah, like our first computers were clunky and giant filled rooms kind of thing, and now decades later we've got little laptops and stuff. Like, if this is one of the first spaceships kind of thing, it's going to be huge. The computer's going to be huge. Like, that's my justification for it.
I try to put myself in the room there with Mother, with all the lights and stuff in that circular room.
It seems so calm.
And it does. And you have a little 10 or 12 inch screen though.
Right.
And you're sitting like 6 feet away from it looks like. And you're supposed to be able to read that.
And then you got your click, click. Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. It does make me kind of think. I don't even know why I like it. I already kind of said why, but
it's
I'm
nostalgia.
Not sure that's the real reason. Yeah, nostalgia.
We grew up with the 80s computers that had the click keyboards and
and that too.
Building a fake spaceship in your basement to play around on that made sure you had the click buttons. Maybe that was just me.
Click buttons. Yeah.
Last little thing I want to bring up because I feel like it's important to bring up Ripley as a character.
Oh yeah, that's one I didn't write down, but I think about
very iconic as being a very strong female character.
Yeah, love it.
Horror character, a sci-fi character, and I completely agree with that. Like, she still lives up to everything that she is, and the various movies that follow after. Like, she's kind of not taking shit from anybody, and had they listened to her, they wouldn't have been in that fucking situation. She keeps the door closed. She doesn't.
She did.
And then fucking Ash comes in and opens the door. The fucking corporation and their fucking bullshit. Yep. So, respect to Ripley. Man. I still like her. She's still great.
Yeah. You touched on a lot of it. For her character, we've talked about it in the previous podcast about horror at least I brought it up a few times, of the female protagonist that just kind of runs off screaming, but some of them happen to make it out alive. Ripley's character is smart. She doesn't take any crap from anyone. She knows her place in the chain of command and follows that, so she abides by the rules, but then is also smart and thinks through things logically.
She doesn't feel like a damsel in distress.
Exactly. Yeah, that. And that might have been it. But she's badass.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think she screamed the entire movie.
No, she did.
She did.
I was thinking that too, but then the thing is, you have the other female character screaming more and more, but she still did a good job. And actually, now I'm thinking about it, I think when I was going through Wikipedia or somewhere else, I think she got an award because there was a supporting actress, one of the awards. And then I think there's director, and then I don't know if it was on the wiki, I could pull it up, or if it was somewhere else. I didn't see anything for Sigourney Weaver, surprisingly.
So you're saying that you're saying that they should have just made it so that the other female character is the main character, and Ripley was pointless.
Here, we'll go with, this is the Wikipedia page. Academy Award for Best Visual Effects, 3 Saturns, Best Sci-Fi Film, Best Direction, and the supporting actress for Cartwright. So it wasn't Ripley. And Hugo Award for Best Dramatic Presentation, and some other nominations. Maybe she got a nomination for something. I don't know. But it's a little interesting. Yeah. So I felt like she did a good job. And the character herself was Anyways, she did good. She screamed at when the facehugger dead one fell on her.
Gotcha. Oh yeah.
Which was understandable. The times where she did, which was that, and then I don't even think she screamed when Ash was attacking her, but she was freaking out, understandably so. Yeah, that might have been the only time.
I think the last thing I have that I feel like it's an injustice if we don't talk about it in relation to these movies. Okay, I got 2 things. I've got 2 different things. But so the first one is, I feel like we have to talk about, is the chest opening scene where the alien jumps out of whatever the guy's name's chest is at dinner. It's classic. Yeah, it's just so iconic. And then it goes skidding off on a skateboard or something. Yeah. Just really creepy, really terrifying. Just kind of
Officer Kane.
Yeah.
Kane was that
one. It's that up until then it builds this air of mystery of, what the hell's going on. And then they give you that nice brief moment of everything's back to normal. And then they just kind of hit you over the head with, nope, you're wrong. Shit hit the fan. And, seeing that movie now, you see it coming every time. But, I feel like back then, it was definitely like, holy shit,
Yeah. You're like, oh, it shed its skin? And the skin looks bigger already? So you're all, wait.
Right.
And then within the next 5, maybe 10 minutes, because it's kind of a slow part still.
Right.
Slow reveal that it was big. That's the other thing with that specific part, is that's the first time you see it in its full size. So
right.
So that was just a point about from the chest.
Yeah, it's just such an iconic scene. I feel like we got to talk about it.
Oh yeah. And then the way the thing runs off, but it obviously is just almost like a thing on a stick.
Yeah,
like a corn dog on a stick.
Yeah,
it runs by or something. But it's so good because the noise. You add in the noise, and the tail kind of whips, and the stuff kind of clangs as it runs past. So it all comes together like it's believable. It's good.
Can you guess what my second thing is?
The flamethrower?
No.
Oh. Because that's like the classic for the series in my head.
I need you to get on the phone and call Hollywood.
Oh.
Because I know how I'd do the remake. I know they've done multiple remakes. Hit me. I feel like you're more familiar with the franchise than I am. So if any of this has already been done, let me know.
Sure.
And, I'll take that into account. But if Hollywood still wants to call me and give me money for my idea, I'd be fine with that.
I'd be fine too. I feel like I'm a part of it. So
to kind of reboot the entire franchise, I would have it post the events that occurred on this ship. It would be a different ship, it'd be a completely different crew, but it would have gone a different way where they were able to capture this alien creature and were bringing it into a base run by the corporation. And you'd have the corporate guy there, you'd have doctors, scientists, and then the alien would just end up escaping throughout the base and stalking them throughout the base, rather than it being a spaceship. But like, you still add in the corporate element. There's maybe not a robot, but you have the corporate lawyer that, everybody's expendable and is just kind of forcing, like, this is his big promotion, this is his big raise, and put a face on the corporation and kind of make them the overall bad guys, but still have this lingering alien creature that's stalking them through, shafts of things. That was the Call Hollywood part. That's what I had for that. But I gotta put my last little gripe in because it really bothered me. Okay. I watched it on a projected screen, and the damn strobe lights, like, there were so many that seemed so pointless. Like, if you're in an emergency situation and your alarms are going off, why are you hitting people with strobe lights as they're, like, trying to get out of the spaceship? And it was just...
You want to weed out those with epilepsy.
Yeah, that was the joke I made when we were watching
Nobody
it.
in the future has epilepsy. That's what it is.
So...
No, that's... Yeah.
That just kind of bothered me. That gave me a little headache there for a minute. But it's at the end, so it doesn't matter. But overall, Alien, I liked it. It's good. I enjoy it. I wonder what else they're going to do with that franchise.
Yeah, they've made a lot, and I think they're supposed to still, or they were supposed to do one or two more.
Yeah, I thought they were maybe doing a TV
reception
show.
Of some. Yeah. Oh, okay, that could be good though. Like a good change.
Yeah.
So speaking to your Hollywood pitch thing there, I'm trying to remember all of it, but yeah, there's a game, Alien Isolation, which is pretty cool and creepy, that takes place after. It's still on a ship, and you're playing as Ripley's daughter. Ooh. That in the second one you find out is dead because...
What?
She's in cryo freeze or whatever for like 68 years or something.
Right.
And her daughter's dead by that point.
Right. So for you find out... Yeah, for the second one they do a big time jump, right?
Yeah. And then so in the game, it's cool because you play as her and they hear about her mom's ship or something. So then you go investigate, and then some stuff happens, and it's you against one alien. And then when you get from that ship, I think, to another ship or area, there's a bunch of androids who are going kind of crazy. So it has all the elements of the movie. So that's pretty good. That was a little bit of a tangent, and that just touched on your part of setting time really on it.
Yeah.
So, but I'm thinking you could almost maybe take that story and make that an actual movie, but then with your idea of putting it on a base, so it's more stationary. The Aliens movie, there is a representative. I thought it was Tucker. Looked it up. It's Carter Burke is a representative for the company, and he's the one who's doing we're on the base. So they go down because they've terraformed. Have you seen Aliens?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
They've terraformed. There's a colony of like 200 something people. One of the people they go out because the colony is on where that LV whatever ship is the name of, and then here it is, I think, derelict ship LV 426 is, and a family goes because they're like mining the planet, and they go off too far and find the egg sacs again, and the one guy brings it back, and then the whole colony is basically dead. So they send a crew down to investigate. The representative Burke is technically there to get a couple embryos implanted so that they can go back and cryo-freeze. That's the whole thing. That's the big reveal. So again, touch on the part where you said with the kind of like the representative, the face. So there is a face in that one. So they kind of do that kind of thing throughout. Third one's a little different. I think that could still work, though. You could almost do it. That'd be a good way to remake it, kind of touch on everything.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to
pull all those elements together
on your thing.
Yeah.
But yes, pull all the elements together, still kind of make it work. So
yeah,
could be good.
That's how you got to do a remake.
You got Ripley's daughter.
You got to hit the nostalgia, but also keep it fresh. That's how you do a remake.
Done and done. Keep it fresh. Just like the Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yeah, pretty high. Highest we've had, I think.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm a fan.
Yeah, same.
So
that's all I got.
Great.
I'm gonna head home in my spaceship.
Yeah, I drove a snowplow to get out of this forest.
Yeah.
Wait, what? All right.
Bye.